During the production of one of cinema's most powerful films, the experience of suffering was more than just an interpretive element. It became a tangible reality. The cast and crew faced real pain, unusual accidents, and events that defied logic. This shoot, which had already captured the public's attention for its ambitious depiction of the last hours of Jesus' life, surpassed expectations and left an indelible mark on those involved. Jim Caviezel, who took on the challenging role of Jesus, faced extreme conditions that pushed him to the limit, including real whippings and a lightning strike. The project became a phenomenon that went beyond the merely cinematic, transforming into an experience that some considered spiritual. The context behind The Passion of the Christ dates back to the early 2000s, when Mel Gibson, a director known for his audacity, decided to bring to the screen an unprecedented representation of Jesus' final moments. The idea was not only to tell a story, but to do so in the most realistic and moving way possible. For this, Gibson chose to film in ancient languages such as Aramaic, Latin, and Hebrew, adding authenticity but also complexity to the production. This approach, coupled with the detailed recreation of first-century Jerusalem, involved shooting in locations with inhospitable conditions and extreme climates. Even before it began, the project generated controversy. Some critics and religious leaders expressed concern about the graphic depiction of violence, fearing that it would deviate from biblical accounts. However, Gibson remained steadfast in his purpose of remaining faithful to the story and moving the public in an honest way. Despite the criticism and concerns, the team pressed on, knowing that they were working on something that could have a historical impact. The filming took place amidst this mix of anticipation and tension. It was in this atmosphere of total commitment that things began to happen that left everyone stunned. Jim Caviezel, who dedicated his effort and dedication to the role, experienced firsthand the intensity of the filming. During the crucifixion scene, he was struck by lightning twice, an extraordinary event from which he managed to emerge alive. These incidents were coupled with other physical challenges, such as a dislocated shoulder while carrying the heavy cross. Nevertheless, Caviezel continued with the shoot, determined to finish his performance in the same spirit with which he had begun. Assistant director John Michelini was also struck by lightning, adding to the sense that the project was shrouded in an aura beyond the ordinary. The physical injuries Caviezel sustained in the flagellation scene were as real as the marks on his skin, the result of accidents in which the whip struck him more than once. For the crew, these episodes began to have a greater meaning than the usual inconveniences of filming. They were interpreted as signs that they were participating in something deeper and more transcendental. The shoot not only tested the physical endurance of the actors and crew, but also their faith and convictions. There were those who experienced moments of intense reflection and personal experiences that led to unexpected transformations. A well-known case is that of Luca Lionello, who played Judas. Before the film, he was an atheist, but after filming was over, he experienced such a profound change that he decided to convert to Christianity and baptize his children. These kinds of experiences were repeated among other members of the crew, generating an atmosphere of spirituality and rediscovery. The production left indelible marks. Jim Caviezel, for example, had to undergo surgical procedures after filming due to the physical exhaustion and strain he was subjected to during filming. However, the actor stated that his main goal was to make his performance as authentic as possible, wanting the audience to see Jesus and not him on screen. His commitment to the role went beyond acting. It was about conveying a message of sacrifice and love. Stories of inexplicable events surrounded the production. There were even reports that figures dressed in white would appear on the set to offer guidance and then disappear without a trace. These accounts contributed to the perception that something more than human endeavor was at work on the set. Mel Gibson also acknowledged the spiritual charge of the project, describing it as a constant test between positive and negative, a reflection of the battle that the story itself represents. The resulting film was not only a box office success, but also became a cultural phenomenon that brought with it profound reflections on faith and sacrifice. For many, working on the Passion of the Christ was an experience that led them to confront questions about their faith and life purpose. The production was notable not only for its rawness and historical accuracy, but for the personal experiences of those who participated in it. The impact of the film continued long after its release. The physical wounds that left scars on the actors and production crew reflected the deepest marks of spiritual transformation. The central message, based on the passage in John 3:16, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life, was conveyed not only through the story depicted on screen, but also in the lived experience of the crew during the making of the film. In the end, The Passion of the Christ became much more than a cinematic work. It was a project that resonated with the essence of sacrifice and faith. It left a legacy of reflection and transformation, not only among those who created it, but also in millions of people who were impacted by its message. For those who worked on it, the film was not just another job, but a chapter in their lives that shaped their perspective on spirituality and art. If you find the story of the Passion of the Christ inspiring, remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. These biblical stories are not only meant to inform us, but also to transform our lives, offering us timeless lessons that guide us toward a deeper relationship with God